Hello, everybody, and welcome back to more Sea Dota action. That's Purge. I'm Kyle Guy, and we're getting ready to hop into game numero dos of Mineski versus Orange. This is in the lower bracket final. Winner moves on to face TNC in that grand final Purge. We just saw Orange come up a bit short. They had a pretty good moment in there, but Mineski kind of pulled out a little bit of their own TNC flavor, found lots of farm on their cores, and eventually just gobbled them on up.
Yeah, they really did. Fast BKBs to counter the nuke heavy lineup, and then pretty much every fight after that was won by them. BKBs on tanky heroes, actually. So, and they also had tons of Lone Druid counters. The Chain Frost and the Paralyzing Cask to bounce endlessly. Made team fights really hard. So, it was pretty straightforward. May see a similar thing. Taring did open up with the Lone Druid in the first two picks in the last game, which we both found fairly confusing, especially because their opponents already had Witch Doctor and Slardar when they picked the Lone Druid. It's like, both of those heroes are good against Lone Druid in so many ways. Like, is this really the right pick? And it really didn't seem like it was. So maybe a different offlane hero. I don't know if we're going to see either Slar. Well, we did see Slar in that first round here, actually. So that's going to change.
So who's
going
to get the Witch Doctor is the big question
first
here,
pick
Purge.
is Mineski. And
will Mineski get the Witch Doctor here and now? If not, probably some other prominent options.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I know Bounty is like it's very favored in other regions, a lot more so than Lich, for example. Maybe these teams don't value the roam as well. Maybe they play very safe about roam. The one game there was a Bounty Hunter. We saw that Abaddon go safe lane or to the mid lane and just sit next to his mid the whole game.
Yeah.
The whole early game, and it actually worked out really well. Until a certain point where they started getting buttloads of gold. But
yeah.
It literally is the first pick, the Witch Doctor first pick.
Witch Doctor.
It's so weird to see Witch Doctor get picked first sometimes to me, because I know
he's a good support.
He's a good support. He's pretty much good at against everything.
But I feel like we're in a day and age. I mean, I don't mean it because I know you're just going to go on to it, but like, I feel like I just came off a period where it was like invokers and at a time
core
where Lone Druid was good. Yeah, and getting those big precious core heroes was the thing.
And now it's like
Jugglers.
Witch Doctor is the solution to all our problems.
No Chen.
It really does do a lot of stuff, though. It makes you okay against Enchantress. It gives you heals. It lets you push. You can help out a lot killing cores. You've got a great teamfight ultimate. You've got good teamfight with Cask. It's just all around. It accomplishes a lot of good things, and it's an easy opener. It's not really counterable, pretty much. Like it's not like one here that's like that nullifies Witch Doctor's effectiveness, except for the maybe like roaming carries in the early mid game is like maybe the best thing against Witch Doctor, but some good play, Witch Doctor doesn't feed, and you're in a good spot. So they do go for Enchantress Venge, very strong early game supports out of Orange. Enchantress usually pressures lanes like crazy, and also punishes slightly easy to gank mid heroes. So maybe Dragon Knight's gonna be harder to work out for Mineski if they do go that way.
And we'll have to see. Otherwise, it does seem pretty similar to what we've been witnessing so far today out of a lot of our C games here. So I'm curious to see what Mineski's best second option go for. Was it last? They got Mar on a third pick in game number 2.
Yeah,
right?
it was in the second round.
Maybe something to consider again. I mean, you got Enchantress on the other side. If not that, we've already seen a Crystal Maiden once out of Mr. Mineski. That's something they can creep in later to help out against the pesky Enchantress there. But we'll have to see. Darkseer, though. An early grab on Darkseer.
Very
you know, I guess with Orange already committing to Avenge and Enchantress, and I don't imagine Orange is going to do like the NA Dota offlane Enchantress. It's not like they can quickly sneak in an Oracle or anything like that. I don't know.
They could.
Game
could
point.
do an offlane
You
enchant.
want to really pull out something different, yeah. I mean, even if like they are personally unfamiliar with playing like an offlane Enchantress, the fact that you could be just shutting down the opponent's offlaner just to make that kind of sacrifice, I wonder how much that's worth it to them or not.
It looks sort of good, but again, they do have Witch Doctor, which is pretty good against enchant. She's gonna be able to harass really easily, but she won't be able to get kills probably, because when things really hit the fan, you stun the creeps, and those won't be able to move anymore for 5 seconds. So, it's a possibility, but I do like the Darkseer opening up and giving them the potential to. It kind of forces Orange into a carry that they maybe don't want to grab right off the bat. They basically can't play a lot of melee heroes. So with that said, though, most of the melee semi-carry in like position 1 heroes right now that are kind of semi-carry teamfighty, they're all gone. It's Doom and Slardar. So don't know if Darkseer really is the perfect solution to lead it up, but doesn't matter. Mineski's ahead, right?
Yeah, right?
And
This is where I'd normally be like, Mineski will go for something like, or this team would normally go for something like an Earth Spirit. I mean, Earth Spirit Dark Seer is a great combo.
yeah,
They need that 4 position. Why
like
not
that.
make it work? But I don't know. Lately, it seems like they just don't care for the hero. We already went into a bit on why the hero has changed up and why teams might not consider favoring, but we'll see. When you put him with the Dark Seer, he still adds a lot of value. So, and a ban on that Marana. Orange don't want to be dealing with that again. Mineski got rid of the Tidehunter as the off-lane initiator. And we'll just have to see what Orange are going to be falling back on here as another option.
So Mineski could also go do something like Spirit Breaker, perhaps.
Oh, Spirit Breaker. That's a hero? Have they been
It
pulling
is.
it out in this region?
No.
Okay. But I remember
feel like
Dark
I've seen
Seer
at
Spirit
least
Breaker was like
one.
a thing for sure.
Yeah, I like the potential for them to do a roaming hero that would synergize well with Darkseer. Is kind of what I'm liking about this. Again, Witch Doctor already valuable. Good against Nature's Prophet in the laning stage can limit his ability to pull creeps around.
That's when I say
Definitely
Earth
like
Spirit.
Earth Spirit here. Yeah,
Earth Spirit for sure.
it's good against Prophet. You
Yeah.
can stop him from TPing in 2 different ways. You can get on top
Yeah.
of him really fast.
Yeah.
It's great with Darkseer. I'm gonna definitely agree with you here on the Earth Spirit.
But they probably won't go for it.
I think it's a little bit weak versus Enchantress in the early game. I feel like I see Enchant's bullying Earth Spirits a little bit more than vice versa.
Yeah.
Can't apply the infinite Orb of Venom chase. First of all, she's already boots faster than you
That's
without
true.
buying anything, and
Yeah.
the Untouchable makes it harder to keep hitting. So, but with Iron Shell, it kind of works. I still think I would.
I guess the problem would be that if they commit for an Earth Spirit, Orange could still grab up again that Yamate Puck. I mean, that's typically a lot of people have been going for that for the answer against something like an Earth Spirit because she's
True.
very elusive. But this is good. They could hold off if they still want to kind of go down that road. And in the meantime, they grab up a Jug.
So Jug, good at split pushing, good at counter pushing, fairly survivable if he gets ganked. I think Battle Fury's pretty good this game. He may just go like Mant. Maybe not though. I always worry about like the treants, obviously.
Yeah.
But most of the teams today, even against Prophets, they're not going the AoE.
These teams today.
I think the European scene often goes Battle Fury consistently on Jug, pretty regularly, but C seems
Yeah.
to prioritize the
China,
stat
I want to say
a bit
too.
more.
Like aggressive. Yeah, he always was a Battle Fury kind of a Jug guy.
It's definitely great. Forces you to get more stats early, so maybe that's one of the big negatives. You can't have as many healing wards. So I guess it comes down to your lineup. If you have a lot of tanky heroes like Dragon Knight or something, you'll probably go more stat heavy with healing wards. If you're just looking to get your second item after the Battle Fury, then you just go straight Battle Fury and move on. Ooh,
Clinks will be the
okay.
4th pickup here for Orange. All right.
This is likely for the 1v1, Clinks versus Darkseer. They can do that if they want to. It's a great matchup for Clinks. It could also be Clinks Venge, and then they're set against Darkseer. Normally in a dual lane, it's not super easy to kill Darkseer, but with Clinks and Venge, tons of physical damage. They've got Wave of Terror plus Clinks. That'll keep Darkseer zoned pretty effectively, and they can set up a lot of ganks as well, with Clinks Nature's Prophet kind of being global, more or less.
Whoa. Alchemist now coming out from Mineski here. Gives me an early impression that things are feeling a bit greedy. I mean,
Slightly, yeah.
Jug can come online at a respectable time to get engaged, but you don't always feel that confident when you're only sporting that level 1 Omni Slash.
Yeah.
So that way their peaking window does feel a little late here. Where you have Orange, who could be proactive with the global presence of a Nature's Prophet. Hell, even Clinks might even be able to go on the roam a bit early. So
I like it because it's kind of filling a similar role as the Slardar. In that it has a minus armor with Acid Spray that'll synergize well with Witch Doctor, Juggernaut, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a harder carry than Slardar, and it's a little bit way less active early, but it can become the strongest hero on your team. Pretty straightforward.
And it forces you to play that kind of a game. Like, you're going to have to keep tabs on this Alk. He's going for those bounty runes. You don't want him to get all that easy access to the gold. You have to just approach the game very differently. And
so I think what Orange is going to do this game, they should have a pretty good lane matchup for Clinks Venge. Enchantress Prophet in the offlane, obviously. Enchantress jungling, possibly pressuring supports. Definitely ganking mid a lot. And Nature's Prophet plus Enchant gank versus whatever mid hero they get. If they can kill Alk a lot in lane, I could see Orange kind of snowballing this game. So it's going to come down to Mineski. Pick a second support that allows them, potentially with Witch Doctor, either to secure the offlane or cover mid easily.
Cover mid.
Not sure what it'll be. Dazzle obviously synergizes great with minus
That was
armor,
the first thing.
but that
I
hero
was gonna
sucks
think
kind of.
Yeah, but the hero's dead apparently. I was gonna say Dazzle
Kind
was
of.
usually that guy in the mid lane to be there to help you.
It's pretty good this game though. Lots of nukes or lots of single target damage from Orange, so Grave looks pretty good actually. I don't think it should be a Dazzle. It looks good on paper, but Dazzle just becomes too weak late game, and their team fight would be awful then, especially with like Alk Dazzle.
I mean,
it's too weak.
Oh!
Surprising
Ogre
pick. Kind of good.
Hey, he's going to get that Ags from the Alchemist. That's the sole reason he was probably picked up in this case.
That's not a bad point. I think
lots of Ags candidates here, or they all are, so I guess that's good.
The big reason is that he's very difficult to kill. High armor, high regen. So the early pressure from Enchantress Prophet, etc., is going to be a bit weak. Still gives him some offensive potential in teamfight, which is something he needed. And it's going to really help Jug and Alchemist scale with Bloodlust. Two heroes that are happy to run faster and attack faster. So I don't know what kind of a skill build he'll go.
He got no love in 6.87, right? I'm pretty sure he didn't
I think his regen went up.
Oh, no way. Oh, higher than what it was?
I might be thinking of a different hero, but there's a hero that is seen in all of the regions very regularly, but very rare in C. Spectre is picked.
Spectre is picked.
I am quite sure that he got a buff, but maybe I'm crazy.
I can't even look at it, apparently.
Just type in dota2.com/6.86.
Dota2.com/687. For anyone out there who was sleeping under a rock.
Control F Ogre Magi.
I got it. I got you.
Okay, not Echo Saber.
Not Ogre Club there.
Not Dragonlance.
Dude, he got no love. He got no love. No love from this patch. Maybe indirect love.
All right.
From items.
How about teardrops on him? Pretty good this game.
Teardrops?
Or the raindrop, whatever.
Yeah, raindrop. Yeah.
Pretty good on him. He's got low int. This will increase his tankiness. Gives him some of that much needed mana regen. What if he does that Rubik build that we saw earlier? Tranquil Wand with the raindrop
arcanes, and then you can do Ether Lens. It's really good on Ogre because I got low range on that stun. They took away that extra range. I like that.
I agree with that, but if you just keep going tanky on an already tanky support, you can do some beautiful things.
I mean, Tranquils on Ogre is pretty filthy. I mean, you're looking at a guy with about 55 armor at that point or something like that.
Yeah, it's actually invulnerable to damage.
He's 8 armor with nothing on his body at all. That's just ridiculous.
Something like that sounds kind of fun. I don't know if Aether Lens is the solution. It's all right. I used to like maybe like a Force Staff into Ags, or sometimes like Soul Ring could be kind of good, but I think he is going to be playing. Well, it's Jules playing it. I could see him going more active. Cast is playing Witch Doctor this game, so we'll probably see Jules play 4 position for sure. And he goes boots first, so he's going to roam around and get shit done, I think. You probably won't see him just like back off and start maxing Bloodlust and run around making his allies farm faster, which is good because I really feel like that doesn't really make Ogre Magi super effective. Did they have vision of this? Oh, okay. So if you can maybe see him walk past the tree, but apparently
I saw the ping, but that was a yellow ping from his own team. So
yeah, it kind of looks like you can possibly sneak past that. You might get spotted on the way to the high ground. Purpose of that is obviously to see who's sitting behind mid, or if there's an Enchantress gank headed over, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I almost would lean towards the ladder for sure, with his enchant hanging that way. So we'll have to see, though.
Standard lanes on all of them, looks like.
All right. Well, with that said, folks, we're going to get underway here. It's game number 2 of this lower bracket final, Mineski versus Orange.Taring here. The winner moves on into the grand final to face off against the very, very strong TNC here. Mineski just squared up against them in our previous series and managed to take off a game, but ended up dropping 2-1. We'll see if they're going to get the revenge or if Orange will be able to battle back here and take it to a game 3. And Purge, we love game 3s here.
Oh, we do.
Very exciting Dota.
It's been fun to watch all the close games for sure. Alchemist does grab Greevil's Greed level 1, which is going to give him 300 gold on this bounty rune instead of the typical 100. And now he's rich. Not for the last time. Quelling Blade is what he's going to fly out right away. And an extra 75. So it's basically like he randomed. Yeah, that's pretty much random gold.
Good for him. But, you know, they did commit for this Alchemist who can be susceptible to some gankage in the mid lane. And when you're picking him into an Enchantress, that's what you expect. Hence probably why they put down that nice ward. And they got this guy here hanging out nearby, the Ogre, as the babysitter. And he just walks in and says, hey, what are you going to do about it? Throws an Ignite his way and just starts clubbing him home. And this is a guy who's happy to even do some damage under a tower with how much armor he's got, with the regen he's got. Yeah, this Clinks is not going to be too happy.
This is kind of a cool way to do this. Ignite's one of the best level 1 damage skills in the game. It does 26 times 5, so it's like 125 damage level 1. This is kind of made up for the fact that Fire Blast sucks, though. It does very low damage. But just with these 2 Ignites here, he's already forced a lot of regen out of Yamate and bought Alchemist some good time. 4 free last hits for him. Although now the Wild Wing is going to ruin his life.
Ogre casually just walks in. He pops out his own clarity here. While this is happening, we'll quickly scope out what's happening in the other lanes here. Darkseer is matching up right now against his Vengeful Spirit, trying his best to just get as close as possible while sapping in some XP. Did get to his level 2, so he has the Iron Shell and the Surge, so shouldn't be caught in too much trouble. While down below, Nature's Prophet in his 1v2 here against the Mighty Jug and Cast's famous Witch Doctor here. So things matching up pretty even at this point, with one Roving Ogre on one side and one Jungling Enchantress on the other.
Man, the fact that he got the Wild Wing here just wrecked the Alchemist in the early laning stage here. Like, he had to go through a full salve, and he's purchased another one, because he knows he's going to run out of regen before he hits... Well, he's going Soul Ring first. He's not going to buy Bottle, because he'll be able to spam way more that way. But that Wild Wing completely evened up the lane and what the Ogre did in the laning stage. So a little lucky that he got it.
Okay, the Ogre and the Enchantress might meet up here, but the Enchantress has a +1 in the form of this Vengeful Spirit, and oh, they deny the Bounty Rune, taking it away from the Alchemist.
Oh, regen with no mana on Nature's Prophet. That's a good one. And he got another cast off before he...
Yep.
That was
Free
the value.
Treants even coming out along with that regen. Nicely done there. Or very convenient, rather. Nicely done by Ice Frog for that. But now the return here after they're able to scope out. And, you know, that's what I'm saying. Orange had to play the game a bit different, make sure they kind of have the help necessary nearby for those runes. And already it's going pretty swell here. And Jules has had to turn his attention on his Ogre towards this top lane instead. But now they look for him. Can they burst through this mighty thick skin? Oh, it doesn't matter. They're going to surge him, and he'll be able to walk away. So
it's a cool dual lane, too. Iron Shell, the Ogre Magi, we never see this, but with his fast boots purchase, this is actually has some threat value against supports, for example. With a slow and a stun and a great right click, great armor, he's fairly tanky.
Bird
Quite
from
tanky.
Ignite and the Iron Shell, yeah, that will certainly do a number on you. Head CS of the early laning phase, though, does belong to this Jug in the bottom lane, only matching up against this Nature's Prophet. Can be inflated a bit because of the Treants here, but he's at 19 and 7. And with the assistance from Cast, who continues to pull out the creep wave here, he is going to allow this Jug to have a pretty safe start. And that's been pretty much the theme of the day, Purge. So that core, the one core on the side lane who's able to kind of bulk up that fast.
Well, the other story is Alchemist is getting wrecked mid.
Yeah.
The Wildling Ripper really limited his ability to last hit there in the laning stage.
7 to 18 on Clinks.
And he's probably close to net worth anyways. And he actually is. He's only 250 behind.
Wow.
Bounty runes. He's only got one bounty rune. But a little bit of Greevil's Greed and a couple last hits, and he's matching just about. He will outfarm no matter what at some point.
All right, but the 4-minute bounty is going to be coming up here. And it's top. Oh, not good luck here for the Alchemist. Yamate will be happy to pocket that one up. It does leave Ogre with the Illusion Rune, so not...
He can maybe kill him, actually. Okay. He will back up in time. That'll start, maybe work on his medium camp here, especially with the Soul Ring being finished. So just doing this occasionally is nice. You can stack this camp fairly straightforward. And if you get lucky and it's Mud Golems or Satyrs, then you're going to get a lot of advantage out of this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, bottom lane, they've made their go here for NJ, and they're going to be successful. He tries to hide himself in the Sprout, but they quickly cut it down, and it's going to be Mineski who will strike first. Raging Potato gets that first blood here. And while Darkseer continues to dance in front of this tower, Ling has been waiting a long time for maybe an approach, but will just opt to instead work with the camp. He's got a great army to work with here, but aside from that Wild Wing presence, which has certainly helped a lot, waiting to see what her next move might be.
She wants to gank mid, but the Alchemist just left it. This is his third salve that I've seen on him, though. Pretty rough. Most of the time, Alchemists just kind of get by until they hit 6, and then they don't need this regen. But due to the way that his laning stage went, he got pretty behind. He's still doing okay, but if Clinks can translate this early game advantage into a lot of ganks, then it's really going to limit what the Radiant feels like they're doing.
They spotted out Jules, and Jules has the Tranquils here, Purge, so he actually opts to go for the armor and the move speed. So he's tanky as hell.
Ugh, I hate his skill build.
Oh, 2 in the Fire
The
Blast,
double Fire
not the
Blast.
2 into the Ignite.
Yeah, it's I'm not a huge fan of this build. It's very weak on. I guess it's not bad on damage either way, because right now he's doing 260 damage this way, and it's in a lot of ways usually better to have upfront damage rather than damage over time. But kind of grosses me out. It's not very valuable.
Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Lots of damage for the Alchemist here, but not going to be enough. Jules steps in and slows him down, but will it be enough? Alchemist limping away.
Oh, he gets him.
High ground, needed another. Can't get it yet. Oh, but the Haunt comes in, and the quick cleanup comes out from the Spectre. Really nicely done. Is he going to reality back to the lane? I guess not. Maybe the illusion got killed, but nonetheless, very nice for your Spectre to be able to participate early and even get the kill.
Yeah, I've never seen somebody shut down an Elk so well, but it's going really well this game. Plus, having the Haunt on top of that, there's just so many ways to pressure him. They can TP Prophet, they can gank with Enchant, now they can Haunt. Every time you get that kill, it's worth it. So Alchemist further delayed, not even 6 yet. And it's going to take him a bit to catch up because of all these losses. He's less farmed than the Darkseers. That's a really bad sign.
We'll have to see if he can find his way back into the resource farm or not, but in the meantime, could see an approach here. Yamate's creeping in. He gets that early Blightstone now.
Yeah, he had that against the Elk. It worked really well. High HP, low armor. That's the counter. A little bit of minus armor.
And for now, we'll continue to kind of stalk about here, but have yet to see really Mineski be able to pull the trigger. Raging Potato looking to move in, has Omni Slash, but NJ doing a nice job keeping some Treants by his side, and now has the creep wave to separate him from the other side. But the Jug is the highest CS in the game and highest net worth, so he's still holding his own for the team as far as the farm goes. And he is going to be going for a Battle Fury build-up. It looks like he's got that Void Stone.
This looks like a noob thing. Used to see this all the time in Dota 1, the fast Void Stone, but he just wants to make sure his mana's full, and it's important to do that because Juggernaut kind of lives and dies by whether or not he can Omni Slash into spin or spin an Omni Slash, just damage-wise. So, and this way he can also do stuff like this, Healing Ward, and then quickly ulti afterwards sometimes. So.
Okay, but
TP comes.
Yeah, Yamate is moving in. He packs a creep, the TP from NJ. He quickly gets himself out from the Sprout, and we'll be able to make it away from trouble. So it's going to create some space here for the Nature's Prophet. They won't be able to get the kill, but yeah, Jug is going to have to walk all the way back to lane. He does pick up his Perseverance, though, and we'll just have to hustle back.
Yeah, that only worked basically because Prophet ulti wouldn't hit him when he starts spinning because he becomes magic immune, so a little unfortunate. I think if he targeted it directly on him, then it wasn't going to work either because then it would have been too low damage. So maybe what he should have done is casted it and then broke the healing ward, perhaps, and then gone on him. Maybe that way it hit the same time that he felt threatened. That might have worked better, but either way, difficult gank, Jug's going to be completely fine, and he'll just sit under a tower and heal.
The Nature's Prophet going for what looks like a mech build up here. Got the buckler already, so
I like it. It limits a lot of what the Radiant team can do in the early game. If they just start winning team fights with heroes like Spectre, then Ogre Magi looks dead, by the way. Slightly.
Yeah, he's dead for sure. Top lane, he will be going down, get swarmed out. Scoping out mid lane because Yamate is making his move, and they will get him down as both supports drop here. Orange firing back pretty good here in game number 2, pulling ahead already 3-1, and you're looking at a very farmed Clinks and a Spectre who continues to have a really nice time here in the top lane with all the extra assistance.
Yeah, I really like how Clinks is playing this. Sits in mid for a while, pressures the Alk, and now he's mostly farming in the jungle, doing a bit of gank roam. These kinds of pressures, it also gives more experience to heroes like Enchantress, who can then just walk mid and take that experience for free. So it's overall going to increase the farm rate of their team. The only downside is that their mid hero, it doesn't have reliable gold gain the same that he would if he was mid. But it creates a lot of pressure on the map, makes it hard for Mineski to play.
And we'll see where he takes his journey from here, and yeah, just continues to go on the move as it is. And for Mineski, I mean, this was something we said in the draft with their build-up, feeling a touch more greedy. They have a long build-up, and when you get kind of nerfed down a bit as an Alchemist, I mean, I continue to wait here. Oh, Haunt goes out. It's for the bottom lane on the Jug. They'll hit him a couple of times, but he continues to make it out from trouble. He's the big prize target here on the side of Mineski right now, and they won't be able to get the grab.
I don't completely think they intended to kill him there. I think it was more of a let's go to the offlane and take the tower kind of a thing. And I sort of like it. They are going to lose the Venge here, most likely.
She gets in, tries to get a sentry down. The sentry quickly gets taken out, and she will lose her life as well. So, quick pick off for her.
They do get the tower, though, and that part was pretty nice. This looks like Spec TP top afterwards. So rather than just TP to the bot lane, he opted to ulti just to head bottom, pressure the jug back, and take the tower afterwards, which worked all right. Although if they did take a full fight, Mineski that is, in the bot lane, not having Haunt might have really cost them. But kind of worked out, and he gets back to the top lane instantly. So overall, good for Orange there. I think I'm happy even though that Venge died.
But when is it that we could see... Oh, tried to go for the courier, needed one more strike, not going to be able to get it now, puts his sights onto Raging Potato, and this time he's got help in the form of an Enchantress with that ridiculous long-ranged pure damage. And with both of them together, they'll finally get that jug down.
Even just the fact that Enchant right-clicks and Clinkz had the Blightstone helped a lot. She hit really hard on the spin, helped a lot towards getting those kills. So that's Jug dying, delays his Battle Fury. It's going to be a little slow. Raging Potato pretty much just wrecked last game, but this game is a little bit harder. Even with all that, though, the Radiant team, their net worths are finally catching up.
I mean, I felt like for the other game, and for what worked out so well for TNC, like on their Raven Gyrocopter in the last game for Yamate's Maranas, they were just kind of left to their own devices in their lane. And I don't know if it's because the other team didn't give them the respect to move into that lane and gank them a bit, or was it that, you know, everyone outside of Marana were able to kind of pull focus and just make their own approach in the other lanes and not, you know, force them to forget about the Marana or forget about what was the Gyrocopter.
I think they just didn't necessarily have the heroes to do those kind of audibles. Like, with Clinkz, as soon as you're 6, you can move between jungle, you can farm jungle very fast, you can gank the safe lane, you can gank mid, you can do all these unpredictable things that also lets you pressure on the lane. And I don't think they had that same opportunity with the heroes they had before. Like with Puck, you can't farm the enemy jungle, so if you leave the lane, you're ganking or you're not farming. So that gets you behind, especially if you don't get a kill setup. So it's just a little bit harder to find those kind of combos. Instead, Yamate gets full acceleration. The only thing that's really hurting them, though, is that Alka's getting really fast acceleration.
Yeah, he does farm pretty damn fast. Has an armlet to sport now, and they'll still continue to hold their Tier 1 tower, but I don't know for how long. Yamate continues to stalk here around this mid lane. He's maybe hungry to snipe this tower. He's creeping in. Hey, guys, mind if I take this? Oh, I'm going to get it quick. I'm going to get it quick. They glyph it. Now they look for him. Do they have a dust? They have a sentry. Oh, 2 times stun. A swap back save, though. Nicely done there from the Venge. And now Yamate can strike from the high ground here. They will lose their Vengeful Spirit, but now comes the Spectre. Quickly haunts in. Reality's over. Looks to go for the Ogre. Going to be able to get that one down. Looks to be a 2 for 2 as Raging Potato gets his own sweep in, committing the Omni Slash. But now he's the one in trouble as the right clicks fly out. They got the urn. He's trying to heal up with the ward. Heads off north to make it away as the Darkseer tries to assist. He's following and chasing. Doesn't have the mech anymore. They'll finally get the jug down. Yamate will pick up that one, but the Alchemist, as he chases for the Spectre, Spectre going to be able to use the dagger, makes it to high ground, and, well, makes it to safety. And out of frustration, he'll just have to deny the tower instead.
That was a value Wildkin Tornado. That whole time, it was
place.
slowing down the jug, giving them kite potential, vision, all of those things really added up. Overall, really good fight for Orange. They lost 2 heroes, but it was their supports, and they killed a core and 2 supports. So not a massive victory, but getting the mid tower killed as well is going to help a lot, especially when you have an invis roamer carry like Clinkz. He can easily move around now through the jungle, through the mid lane. It's going to force a lot more sentries from their opponents. He doesn't yet have Deso, though. I'm a little surprised. I guess it's not late, but he's about 1,600 away. But he really needs a bit more damage. He's kind of hitting slightly mediocre at the moment.
Yeah, for this point in the game, definitely could afford to hit a bit harder. I'm sure he'll get it soon, but also speaking of being able to hit hard, the Spectre getting closer and closer, now top of the net worth here to that Radiance. 3,500 gold for her. This could turn into a sketchy time for someone like Cast on this Witch Doctor once those haunts start coming out with the Radiance burn.
Yeah, and I like that Psionics here is willing to go for the slightly greedier play. A lot of Spectres are playing the same build that they did in the previous patch.
The Batman build?
Which is, yeah, the phase earn with drums.
Yep.
And it was very good before. I'm less sold on it now. I think that item for agility carries is just not what it used to be. Right now it only gives them, it's basically it's a bracer with 6 extra int and the HP regen and the aura. And when you think about it that way, it's really expensive. It gives you regen as well, which is kind of nice, I guess. It's actually better for Spectre in that way, because before you didn't necessarily have an item that would keep you topped off. But I think the item's a bit worse than it was previous, at least in terms of survivability, and I think there's potentially better items.
So they passed on that altogether, and we'll be able to try to bring in the Radiance that much sooner here and look to put it to work. It's a solid start for Orange here, but still a journey ahead of them if they want to be able to close this one out with the win and take it to a Game 3. While Mineski now go on the offensive. We don't see this a whole lot from their team. Usually they have been more on the defensive and just trying to respond to these fights. But they smoke up and they head towards the top lane here, close by a Ling Enchantress, and well, they want the bigger prize, the Spectre. Do they have enough lockdown to go for it? Ooh, they might have spotted the Jug. He's seen now. They just make their move for him.
The bait.
Impetus flies out, but yeah, as you said, could be a bait. Vacuum back into a wall. Swap back, a Valiant save for the Vengeful Spirit might be enough, as the Spectre will quickly pop off the Haunt and look to make a retreat. Raging Potato might be in trouble now. They pop off the Dust. The Ward keeping alive. A nice surge will allow him to make a hasty escape. The Spectre continues to chase, while on the other side, Yamate will get the finish for Cast. They dagger up Raging Potato, but they're not going to be able to pursue. Turns into what looks like a 2-for-1 purge. A promising fight for Mineski, the first one of the game.
How did only 3 heroes die in that fight? That was
that was ridiculous.
Very
with
high action.
with the Haunt coming out and everything. Oh, it might not be done yet.
The vacuum Omnislash was just really strong.
Oh, bit awkward here. A bad TP in from the Nature's Prophet is not going to allow him to get a good sprout, and he might be able to sleep. Close, but not going to happen. Ogre steps in, but it's a bit too late. Jug almost made it away because of that misstep there from the Nature's Prophet, but...
Ooh, new Klink's skill build here. He actually maxed out Strafe after Searing Arrows. Almost always you see a 1-4-4 build, but in long engagements, this is going to give him way more damage overall. So, kind of cool to see the difference.
And he's got a Deso too, so...
Yeah, that's going to help a lot. But just the fact that the Spectre lived in that fight was massive. Great swap from the Venge. The suicide there for that, or at least the sacrifice, was completely worth it.
She's been on point with those this game since she got that swap build. I've seen at least 2, maybe even 3 big clutch swap saves here. So
that kept Spectre alive, which means he gets gold from enemy heroes that die.
Yep.
He almost killed the Jug. Maybe if he had Drum, he would have been able to. I'm almost guaranteed, actually, with the movement speed, he would have gotten that kill. But even with that happening, I still am pretty happy with this item build that he's going, because once he gets the Radiance, if he's full HP and activates Haunt, everybody's going to take 250 magic damage. And this early in the game, it's very tough to handle.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this Witch Doctor will easily lose probably about a third of his life after the one Haunt will even come out. And now, Mineski, as they continue their grind and farm, looks like Orange have other plans on their mind. They move into the Roche pit here and looking to swap up this Aegis. So Ward nearby for Mineski to try to scout anyone hanging in the neighborhood, but after they smoke, that might be a bit too late. Yes, it will be. With all that Desolator, man, they make quick work of the big Roche.
Yeah, just a couple right clicks. Very, very strong.
And the difference from Mineski and TNC is Mineski were not there for this Roche. But, okay, Raging Potato. Spin TP out.
Can they take a fight now? That's the question.
I don't know if there's a fight to take.
Well, Jug TP'd home out of panic. So that's what they're going to be looking for. Can they find...
Oh, they may find Darkseer here.
I think they will. Didn't they just smoke, though, on Mineski, or am I wrong? I might be wrong. Well, goodbye.
That was 3.
Wow, that's damage.
Ouch. Ooh, Radiance, the first Radiance, though, actually... Okay,
oh
they both get it out at the same time. Haunt does come out. We see it back at the mid lane where they're going to get the finish. It looks like for Jules. Get the misses. Okay, they'll finally get him down there. Well, out and below, the Spectre goes
that's
back.
Not good.
Oh, swap back. Bet her in trouble. Gets that Radiance, gets killed right away. Not looking good for Mineski here in game number 2. Orange continue to stride ahead, now 12-6. And they will follow this up with a tier 2. Still have that Aegis. And still have all the momentum.
Their lineup just synergizes so well at this point. Like, they're all right-click heroes, everybody on oranges. And putting a Desolator on another right-click hero with that just, it's the good solution against Alchemist. Normally, Alchemist seems invincible with Armlet on because he gets that free 10 armor. He's even got Radiance right now. That's why there were some misses probably. But with Venge minus armor and a Deso, like, it completely counters what he wants to do. It gives him minus 13 armor against Alchemist. He just dies. It's a good solution. Really works well mid, too.
And now we see Orange be able to gobble up yet another tower. Still have 2 towers top lane to even work with before they can approach the base here. But Clinks, after just getting that Desolator purge, he's up to about 2,600 gold. Is it necessary for him to kind of build up something defensively at this point, or can he afford to just? I mean, he was only got 940 life for God's sakes, you know, unless he packs, of course. But
yeah,
you know,
normally you go BKB at this kind of position,
yeah.
but the heroes he's against, I don't know if he really needs it. It would stop what Witch Doctor cast.
Ogre, but Ogre's not very scary right now.
Yeah, the bigger threats are kind of just Omnislash, really. I'm not too worried about whatever else. He's going to try to solo kill the Elk here.
Can he do it here?
He needs him to start attacking. All right, here we go. Still doing it anymore.
And let's see if he can do it. Won't. Misses. No. Okay.
Prophet
Aegis
will help.
Prophet's here. Yes, he will.
Oh, the misses. He got like 2 misses there.
Oh, he's stuck. He's stuck, and he'll go down. Alchemist, back-to-back takedowns for him. Yamate now wicked sick with his Clinks.
That's good. 3,100 gold now. I'm trying to figure out what he should buy. Some kind of HP damage hybrid item is maybe the goal. Is he going to do the Orchid item? It looks like he is. He's probably going to go for it.
The Bloodthorn item.
I
see.
think so.
Backing back into wall top lane as they make their go for the Spectre.
We got out.
Gets out. Look at this. Backing behind.
Can he
It's on
stun?
Gas. No! Not going to be able to get there in time. Spectre makes it out, and things continue to just go so right for Orange.
That's a pretty big mistake from Cask. Sorry. When your team ganks a Spectre and he thinks he's going to die for sure, he always haunts. And as soon as that happens, you have to be aware they're ganking Spec, and as soon as that happens, if you're anywhere else but there, he's going to jump to you.
Yeah.
And he did not react in time. You got to stun after that or follow it up or something. And if you don't get that kill, it just wastes everything your team tried to accomplish. Other than getting Haunt on cooldown, but... Oh, big swap. That's going to guarantee the Darkseer kill top.
Yep.
Like,
so they got it.
They still haven't killed Spectre yet. It's such a big deal. And now he's going to transition into a Manta, which will guarantee his survivability against a Omnislash. So just gets better and better for the Dire team as the game continues.
Really one of the most one-sided early games as we approach the mid-game here that we've seen today so far. So we'll have to see if Mineski are going to be able to grind their way back in this one or not. But top lane, you can see the power of Yamate here. Easily gets a couple of shots in onto the Jug, forces him back it away, puts his sights on the tower instead, and looks to go for the finish on it, and they will get it. So
that's so much damage.
Just going down the checklist here if you're Orange.
Like, this Orchid Deso timing is actually pretty incredible. His last hits are not very high, but a lot of what Clinks gets advantage from is killing heroes, and he's been very effective at that. So with Orchid now, he can silence heroes, amplify the damage that's done to them. It's going to be great against Darkseer. Guarantees these supports are just always dead if he finds them. With the exception of if they're really fast, which they are. They got that going for him at least.
But it's beginning to feel like that the plan in motion here for Mineski is not really following through here. This Alchemist, though he's still top of the net worth, that's just the Alchemist factor. Normally you expect him to be leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else at this point, but
he can catch up. You know, I was wondering if the raiding team just didn't have that much survivability, or I'm sorry, not that many smokes, but they actually do. They have 2 in the shop. They could potentially try to kill Clinks, and especially with his greedy Orchid pickup, he doesn't have a BKB now, so if they can initiate on him with like a stun with Omnislash, they can get those kills, and that's who they should probably be killing. Maybe over the Spec. It's kind of a hard gank to do, but you just have to know maybe approximately where the Clinks is, smoke through, and as soon as you find him, you got to kill him. Throw everything. That's what they need to do right now. They're going to try it on Spectre, though.
All right, let's see if they can do it. There's going to be the haunt. Where did she head off this time? Oh, it's bottom lane where they killed Darkseer.
Yep.
Jeez, that just worked out wonderfully.
Good timing.
For,
sick gank. And that's the problem. You can't do these Spectre kills if you're spread on the map. You just can't. Like, it's even worth it in some ways. Like, they could Iron Shield 2 creeps. He could have TP'd top with his team, and then they attempt that Spectre kill. And if they do that, he dies. He can't go anywhere. You just chain stun him until he dies. But they're not doing that. They're spreading out too much. It's either be better at killing the Spectre that way, or kill somebody else.
Yeah. Well, doesn't seem to be the case for now here. Lots of bounties to be claimed if they could somehow manage to bring down the Yamate Clinks or even the Spectre. They certainly will be awarded quite a purse for it, but those are just not. It's not proven to be easy at all. Jug with his Blink Dagger now will be able to sidestep a bit of trouble, but he is actually going to be walking into some other trouble. Oh, I will not go that way. Oh, ow, ow.
That's a kill right there.
Oh, see you later. Yep.
That's the counter, man. And he's so far ahead that the Jug is working towards Manta, but he doesn't have it. If he has Manta, he's fine against that. If his Blink Dagger is off cooldown, he can blink away from that. But his Blink Dagger was used, and he doesn't have his Manta yet. So Clinks is just destroying this whole game.
He's all over the place. He's like a shark in water, and Mineski just nothing but swimmies. Can't find anywhere out there to kind of catch a bit of farm for themselves. This is where we're going to see them like sheep just kind of corralled inside their base here, especially these supports. They know that they're going to get easily two-shot by any sort of roaming Clinks. This is just a sad time for them.
They picked up some smokes finally, but I feel like this is a little bit too late, and it's not getting enough. I think they just didn't get enough value out of the Ogre magic. Okay, this is it.
They're trying to go for the Clinks here with the help of the Death Ward. They're finally going to bring him down. It's a monster kill streak of 800 gold. Factor that together with the mini rubber band effect, and well, that gets them nearly 2k gold.
That's pretty good. That's what they needed to happen. Luckily, the Clinks brought it right to them. It's like, here, I'm right by your tower. Please kill me. But he was way too far up. The top lane was pushing in. There was no towers. Like, the creep wave was pretty pushed in mid due to him. And bot lane was pushed in, but they have wards in the jungle, so they should have seen heroes there. He should have realized that their whole team is probably there. It was either they're there or they're wrapping around on top for a team fight. So that was a bit bizarre for him to get killed there. If he had BKB, it was fine.
Ooh, Ice has just totally spotted this whole movement here from Mineski, so we'll stalk him out. Obviously, Spectre is not going to want to commit to this lane any further. And they could just read these movements so well. The rest of Orange will be able to work top lane, but actually they're rotating down here. They want to get involved in this fight as happened to break out here. Looks like NJ is going to be able to get the quick, swift kill, taking out the Darkseer here. Jules tries to go for the TP. We'll be able to make it out, but Jug gets swapped back into trouble. He goes for the Valiant Omni Slash, but it is soaked up by everybody, and yep, he has the blink to make it away. Can they catch up? Doesn't look like it. Raging Potato should be able to make it away from trouble, but they do lose their Darkseer here, and you know, it's Orange picking up just another sweet little kill for themselves. And
good escape by the Jug, for sure. I thought they would be able to get that kill, but on the bright side, they wasted Omni Slash. He had to Omni to get out of that. It makes you invulnerable for up to 3 seconds or so, and then you can blink afterwards. So it's a good way to escape. Very smart. Stays alive. That's what they needed. They still do lose a hero, though, so Orange is further ahead. They got to keep killing the Clinks before he gets survivability items is the real target. Spectre's getting too tough now. With Manta style, he can dodge spells, not vulnerable to Omni Slash, things like that.
Yeah, she'll be taking up soon after completing this Manta. I'm sure something like a heart could be in order here. And Mineski, well, they're kind of pushing out this top lane, but they only have 2 here. I don't know how long they want to hang out in this lane. Oh, God. Jules will be the one to tank the gank, though. Gets spotted out with the magic missile. Ice says, I don't want you. You're just a dumb ogre. Tries to move instead for the Jug, but Jug's already made it out. And Jug's going to be very happy that this ogre was there to kind of spot out the gank.
Yeah.
He makes it away from trouble. Cast also going to be able to make it away, so... You know.
Ice keeps going for the carry kills, and I think they should maybe just take what they can get and kill the supports as well. I mean, it's easy to say that because he probably thinks he's going to grab the carries, but that's twice now that he's missed a guaranteed kill. If he just would have gone for the ogre both times, they could have at least gotten that experience in gold.
So notice Alk is as Mineski actually smoke up and go on the move here. We might have to hold this thought. Oh, their dust.
Yeah, they ran.
The smoke popped, but they went the wrong way. They detect where he is now, and they look to make a chase. He gets a
great Orchid. He's got to run.
There's the Orchid. Can they stop him from getting the stun off? Yes, they can. He stuns himself. He's in trouble. Vacuum back. And a bit of lag here as the wall is going to be dropped now, and they just chop their way through. Omni Slash is out. Oh man, what a jump! Gets the Nature's Prophet as well. 2 go down. Could be the best fight for Mineski so far, but they can't finish it yet. They lose their Witch Doctor. The right clicks come out here from Ling, and I don't think they're done yet. Looking to make chase and hopefully get a hold of this Ogre here. Looks like he'll be able to TP out from the trouble, and the rest of them will just walk away with what winnings they got.
I maybe would have liked an Alchemist buyback there. It's a really good Omni Slash though. Maybe Alchemist buyback for sure if they can guarantee the spec kill. But it didn't look like they were going to win the fight, but then all of a sudden everybody in orange got so low. The Omni Slash cleaned up so many heroes, both Avenge and the Prophet. Some great jumps there. They're actually going to do a little bit of a gamble here. Take the fast Roche. Both heroes very low, but Mineski, I don't even know if they're going to expect this.
Yeah, they're nowhere near. Obviously, we know that. But with their help of the Desolator and all that, they're going to be able to easily take down this Roche and get the extra life.
Yeah, they probably know realistically. Just they can't defend against this. Spec alive and Klink surviving as well. Easy Roche kill. BKB's now up on Klink, so he's going to be able to do aggressive things a little bit better.
And, you know, I noticed for the Alk, he's going the Octarine build-up, what some may say is kind of like your poor man's Naga. Is this just kind of still the thing to do? I know they changed Octarine a bit.
Yeah.
Doesn't provide the regen anymore. But
the part's okay. I used to hate on this build a lot because it didn't offer much for damage or armor. But the armlet fitting into this actually makes it very good because it kind of makes up everything you were lacking before. Right-click damage, armor, attack speed, stuff like that. And it also synergizes well with the Manta because it makes your illusions a lot stronger with the strength buff. So I'm a fan of this build now. I think it's good.
Will help relieve a lot of the pressure that's going to be coming their way soon if he's able to kind of, you know, get those Mantas out fast and
then
burn down the waves.
Once he farms his next item, he'll probably start on Ags for his team.
Woo! Who do you give the first Ags to?
They have some of the best heroes for it. Witch Doctor Ags is very good, but Ogres is probably better.
I mean, that's a full extra bit of lockdown. I would have to say that Ogres has got to be pretty damn valuable.
Yeah, Ogres is definitely amazing. Especially with the Slow Ring build, you kind of have to go Slow Ring if you plan to get Ags. So if you cast your secondary Fire Blast a little bit too much, your mana is gone, and something like Arcane doesn't cut it. You need Waveborn Burst more often. So I could maybe see it being Ogre. With that said, they've already got BKB on Klink, so that might not be good.
Yeah.
I think Witch Doctor's a little bit safer. They could actually Darkseer it. Vacuum Wall the Spec, make an amazing Spectre illusion.
Oh, for sure.
It's a possibility. They're all really good Ags heroes, with the exception of Alchemist, of course.
Well, we don't have a lot of time possibly for him to continue to bring in those Ags. In fact, already looking to knock at the door. They get the swap back for the Alchemist here. And as they jump in, the Omni Slash will come out. They'll try their best to heal up through it, popping out the mech. A big vacuum pullback right now. Looking pretty good for Mineski here in a harder position, and with a big cask Death Ward coming out, they will be able to drop 3, including the Aegis. There's the return of the Spectre. They step back. They will bandage up their wounds.
That was such a good fight for them. Oh, they're chasing still?
Yeah, they're hustling on in. The long ball will connect onto the Nature's Prophet, and he will just get punched in the back of the head. Tries his best to slow them down. Gets off the Self-Sprout. Goes for the TP.
No way.
And he is actually out of there and back in the base. Makes it out with what looked like just a hair under 100 life. And they had no way to just get in there, chop the tree or anything and stop him.
It was an amazing team fight for Mineski either way. It was basically perfect circumstances. I don't think that initiating on Alchemist is the way to do that anymore. He's way too tanky now.
Yeah.
He basically took the initial focus of damage, and then in the meantime there was an Omni Slash. Like as soon as he gets back to his high ground, he's fine. He's not going to die. So he took all the initial burst and stayed alive, and that's going to it's going to create space for his team to do everything they need to.
Oh, but it looks like they might have gotten Raging Potato, or have they? Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
Swap helps that.
Trying to build up the hype a bit, and then all of a sudden the swap just is just a heartbreaker right there if you're a Raging Potato fan. But for Orange, good little pickoff on the Jug, and they continue their advancement forward.
Well, the item's ready, the Bloodthorn on the Klinks, so now he's going to allow his team to crit everybody they right-click. So this could have massively changed that last fight. If they Bloodthorn the Alk, they'd have to stun him for 5 seconds because he can Manta it off to remove it. But with all the right-clicks they have, they'd be giving
True
crits.
Strike all over the place.
Oh yeah, and True Strike on Enchant.
So
and
the Radiance is gone and all that stuff. It's very, very
really
nice.
effective. He should be controlling these illusions. Ling. There we go. Makes the Manta illusions a little bit less strong.
Oh, come on. Illusion on illusion fight? Nah, okay.
Just run it uphill. Why isn't he using it? Come on. There we go. Run uphill, hit that little building a little bit. 1, 2, 3 hits. Amazing. Could have been 9.
That's the start, all right?
Okay. Just the first.
Need about 90 more of those, and we'll be good.
And, oh, he X one of those. I don't.
The high ground hold, though, from Mineski is pretty damn pungent. I mean, a lot of credit for a Darkseer here with the blink ready to go. It ain't going to be easy to breach from Orange unless they, go into it taking a nice team fight where they eliminate a lot of the members of Mineski.
Yeah. Alk's quite farmed now. Looks like AC is going to be his final item. He'll help against Bloodthorn. Lots of armor. A little bit of minus armor for his opponents as well. It's going to be a good solution. The BKB that Clinks has, for example, he actually can't stand and fight the Alchemist. If he's got the acid spray down plus AC, Clinks is going to be negative armor, actually. Alk will definitely beat him in a 1v1.
How does this game bode for either team if it just continues to go long? I mean, we could be in for a long game here, Purge, the way this is going.
I kind of like Mineski's chances here. I mean, they're going to get a free kill bottom.
It looks like it. It's ice in the river. Tries to get the ghost off, but they're just walking her home and walking her down the valley of the shadow of
Oh, they're
death.
chasing so far.
We're thinking about it. Step back instead for the tier 1.
That's an Omni right there. Okay,
whoa.
That's
Okay.
a bad Omni is what that was.
Oh, he blinks away. Okay, good.
Clearly didn't click on Enchantress before attempting that one.
He wanted to go all the way into the base with that one, but looks like he will be able to walk away. Will not have an Omni to work with, though. Tier 1 will get dropped.
Oh, Bloodthorn, Mantle.
Clinks is like, I'll just go right in, and now steps in from the Alchemist. He pops his own BKB. The vacuum wall is just right behind him, and look at this. Orange continue to stride on forward. They quickly take out Cask. They're going to get the Darkseer down, and spin retreat comes out from Jug, trying to make it away from the trouble. Heads down south, hiding through the trees, juking and jiving, trying to make it away, and goes for a valiant TP. That's going to be no success there. Has a buyback if necessary, but Orange take a good fight for themselves. Alchemist just gets back on the grind and tries to relieve the pressure in the other lanes.
Really straightforward team fight there for Orange because he wasted Omni Slash. They know that Jug's contribution is so much less there. So they forced a fight, and around the time that Alchemist ultimate also ended. They did a lot of damage to Alk. He wasn't quite healing up a huge amount, so pretty good team fight for them. They get 3 kills and a lot of advantage. In terms of the late game, Spectre is one of the best super late game heroes in the game for multiple reasons. He's one of the hardest carries due to the way that his skills work. He team fights amazing. He can like die, buy back, ulti to TP back in the lane. He can do that potentially like 3 times with an Aegis, which is just insurmountable against a lot of lineups. Alk is pretty much at his peak right now. He can sell Armlet, buy like an Abyssal Blade, get a Moon Shard, not to mention buy Ags for his team. So I guess in some ways he can really get a lot stronger by pulling Ags to allies, but
he's got to get
it
a
just
Moon
looks
Shard,
better for them later.
And then he has the Bloodlust too, and then we'll really see him have a good time on the right click there.
Yeah.
And then of course the Ags for everybody, yeah. So
I just don't see him feeling that much stronger as the game goes on. Like, again, Armlet for Abyssal is probably his last swap. Even that is a little dangerous because he's going to have way less armor with that option. But by giving his whole team Ags, he can potentially increase their survivability by a lot. That's like, what, 4k per hero?
Yeah.
Increase their net worth. Even on Jug, it's amazing. It lowers the cooldown of Omni Slash down to like 70 seconds. That's amazing. That's every team fight. Not to mention the overall stats and HP increase, so could be good.
could be. We'll see if he's going to be able to get to that point where he'll be able to dish out the Ags for everybody on his team. But in the meantime, just continues to do his Naga style kind of a thing, keeping these lanes pushed out as much as possible. For Orange, though, they go back on their move here. We're still waiting the secondary timer of this Roche, so we still have quite a bit of time there before it's back up and at the ready. Things have definitely slowed down a little bit here between both squads.
It's just so hard for them to defend against the split push. Like, they don't have a ton of opportunities to go in due to what Elka's doing. So
yeah, I mean, if you really look at their lineup, they don't have a crazy amount of wave clear. I mean, you already mentioned how much single target they kind of got with all the right click, but you know, Nature's Prophet, can certainly have a say in being able to push the lanes out.
Oh, they're gonna go now.
But mid lane, they make their jump in. It looks like
Great
they're
Manta.
going to go. Manta's already out though to keep the Alchemist safe, but he gets locked in within the Sprout right now. Wall separates them. They're going to have to walk around it if possible, but the Alk just gets absolutely shredded apart here. Yamate now dominating. His right click just massive. The Spectre just cleaning up, and now they're going to head their way towards the base side here, and Mineski are going to be forced to pull out some buybacks, it looks like. And the only one they have available right now is on that Alchemist here. So
yeah, that Bloodthorn damage at the end was just, it
Yeah.
turned Alchemist from 80% to nothing so rapidly.
jump in from the Jug, Raging Potato. There's a vacuum back. He tries to go for the Omni, but this creep wave is happy to soak the majority of it up.
Yeah, it's a big waste of the Omni Slash there. Now he's on cooldown.
That was a buyback used from the Alk too. So Orange are like, great. we've made our push. We got a good pick off on the Alk. We forced the buyback, and now with no
Decent.
Omni, we'll just head back, and good for them. The Roche timer was actually a pretty damn small one, and they'll be able to get the extra life. Things looking pretty damn swell here for Orange now.
Yeah, that's a little tough for Alk. He doesn't lose that much in his item progression, but one of his supports does. That was like a fourth of a Aghanim Scepter that he now doesn't have. So, Ogre's silently crying. I wish we didn't have to buy back there, guys. Even the Witch Doctor is very underfarmed. Both of those heroes have almost nothing.
It's not like it's going to get any better either. I mean, you have Alk taking pretty much the majority of the lanes, and anything that's left is going towards your Jug. So, unless he's handing over these Aghanim Scepters, the support's probably capped as far as farm goes, unless they get some gracious fights going their way.
Mm-hmm. And it's only going to get better for Spectre as the game continues.
Yep.
He's got 3 really good items, 1 pretty good item that'll probably stay in his inventory. Maybe Scotty next heart, something like that.
Yep. Still always have the room in the far future. You get the trusty 7th item refresher, and the double haunts start coming out. The
Enchantress
high ceiling cap is very nice.
And Enchantress is ridiculously farmed. Full Hurricane Pike and Ags, so full attack range. We're going to see that abusive push away and attack them like 4 times, and they kind of just die thing. Even Clinks is not even close to 6 slotted yet. Like, the Hurricane Pike is, the Bloodthorn's like a 7k item, very expensive. And he's still got space from his cheese. Not to mention the additional boots of travel and stuff like that. His build can go so much deeper than Elk's can.
And looking over towards where this Darkseer is, but Mineski obviously playing this one very defensive now, and anticipate the approach from Orange here. Having that benefit of the Aegis, a swap back, looking to go for the Darkseer. That is their one high ground hero purge, and he is already out of the game. Mega realities happening here as the Spectre gets a lot of damage here for Cast. Not going to be enough to finish him off, but without that Darkseer vacuum wall, their defense is that much weaker here. We'll see what kind of hold they can have. First Alk, Ags does come out. And it doesn't look like he's handed it off yet. Can't tell. Is it on Cask? No, it's not on Cask, not on Jug, not on anybody. He hasn't been able to kind of hand it over yet, it looks like, but for now they hold.
The Hurricane Pike, though, I think they can pick one off pretty straightforward. They just need a little vision and a chance to run in for it.
Potato moves in. 2 times multi for the Spectre here. There goes the Death Ward. Oh, Spectre's in trouble. That's the Aegis. They do lose their 2-3, though.
That might buy them enough time to get Darkseer out before everything's over.
Yep. No lucky multi there for Jules on that stun, but we'll scurry them back with the help of that Ignite, and Orange change course here.
They still have that high ground ward too, so they may stay. It's a little scary, but Cheese is sent over to the Spectre as well, so
yeah, I saw that.
He's so hard to kill now, and they don't have that many stuns on the Radiant team. I don't really see Spec getting chain stun before he uses that. So.
Oh, Mineski actually walking out from their base, anticipating that Orange just kind of totally turned away and ran, but...
Oh, he did build an Ags, by the way. Juggernaut has it.
Oh, Jug got the Ags, okay.
Yeah.
I knew he'd had it, but I guess I didn't see him put it on anybody yet, so now we got that sweet 70-second cooldown and extra couple of slashes coming out from your Jug. Hasn't found too much success with it, but maybe now we'll have the extra utility for it.
Hey, I wonder if this is a mistake. It's...
Man, Yamate hits like a frickin' truck right now if he can see anyone with the Pact and the DD.
Oh, jeez. It's like he's a rapier at the moment. He's not going to find anybody, though. These guys are scared. The only person that really feels comfortable leaving the base is usually Alk. And Ogre's hanging out in the area. That way he can force staff if needed, but finding a solo kill is going to be tough for the Clinks.
Cass is close, but not close enough for him to justify running in there and making any sort of risky mistake. And it's just Mineski, I feel like, just pushing these lanes back as much as possible and just awaiting the push-in from Orange here in hopes for an ultra high ground hold.
They're ready for the high ground. 7 seconds BKB for Clinks now. It's getting a bit worse over time. I really like this NP build as well, the Hex AC on him. A really good team fight. He sold his mech, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Quite sure about that one.
No buyback either for the Spectre at this point. Just has the cheese. That can kind of act as a second life, but you can bring her down fast. She will not be able to make a hasty return here, but Just a slow approach here. Orange on their way towards trying to secure a game number 3. Mineski, if they can hold, they can take it back. They will secure their spot into the grand final to face off against TNC here. But that is your first real base damage of the game. It's going to be a range racks down.
They're playing so careful.
They really are.
Well, here comes the chase.
Here comes Mineski.
He's got a ghost after
jumps
though.
right in. The ghost is on one, but he hops for the second here. And Ice will end up going down. The response comes out from Spectre. Gets out the haunt. Makes the move in. Ogre. Nice jump over to the other side. We'll be able to avoid the extra bit of trouble, but Yamate begins to make his move. Looking to go for the Alchemist. Alchemist very low on life. Turns off, gets the stun. And now Mineski looking to run away, but NJ cuts him off nicely with the Sprout, and they'll be able to swarm right onto him. That Alchemist going to be going down for good, Purge. 90 seconds, no buyback. And here comes Orange. Heading right into the base, they're going to be able to easily clear out the second racks, and this could be quickly the game. I mean, without an Alchemist, I don't see any way that Mineski are going to be able to hold at this point.
Yeah, it's already been kind of hard fights. That was more or less ideal. The Omni Slash mostly only killed Venge, but when fights continued, Sprout just counters them so hard. And the Bloodthorn, once BKBs and Mantas are gone, it just increases their damage too much.
Yep. Jug goes down in a blink of an eye. Will quickly have to pull out his buyback here. And Orange actually want to pull out here. A lot of them pretty low on life. And Potato says, I'm going to have Omni up in 2 seconds here. Makes his move forward, but he gets silenced up, and that Bloodthorn damage, man! Boom! Gets blown the hell up, almost makes it look like it was a bait to pull him back in, and it's all over.
That was just, it was definitely done at that point. They just did way too much physical damage. That was one of the best Bloodthorn games I've ever seen.
I was going to say that's one of the best heroes to have Bloodthorn on. I mean, is there anyone else who could really just hold a candle to someone like a Clinks being able to do that much work?
It wasn't just the Clinks, it was just that they had 3 ranged heroes that do a lot of right-click damage.
Yeah.
I think all 3 of those heroes were really effective, and also he got the Bloodthorn. He had a great laning stage. His items were way faster than they normally are, and because of that, he actually got value from his Bloodthorn. Like, his opponents didn't have BKBs and Mantas like prepped as the Bloodthorn came out. He got it at a time where it actually became effective, and at the late game Alchemist, it's really, really good against him, because as soon as his Manta's down, you're just critting him. It's like he doesn't even have good, strong survivability. It worked really nicely there. And I really don't like the Ags on the Jug. I think that was completely the wrong choice. Like, because they all had Ghost Scepters, they had Swap, they had all these armor items. That wasn't the solution. I think the only way they...
Witch Doctor or
probably
Darkseer,
Witch Doctor, probably not Darkseer. I feel that would have been maybe cool, but they didn't have enough team fight control for that to pay off. They just would have killed the illusions and walked away, I think. So I think it had to be Witch Doctor, maybe Ogre Magi. Maybe get a multicast, but they had BKBs and stuff, so maybe that doesn't work either. I don't know.
Well, made the call out, though, from game number 1 to see if Orange could shape things up a bit in their draft, and this one looked pretty damn synergetic for what they needed to get done, so
but it was weird.
On that.
That was cool about it. Like, I've never...
Weird and cool.
Like, 3 ranged right-click heroes that synergize together without a Slardar, which you normally expect. So, and it was a good out counter. Like, this is the hardest I've ever seen an out countered in the qualifiers so far. It was really good.
May not see it again here, but we'll have to see. We have one more game to go now with this win. That means we're in game 3 hype for the second game straight Purge. So we'll have to see. Will it be Mineski or will it be Orange that make their way into the grand final to face off against TNC? We'll find out in a moment. That's Purge Gamers. I'm Kyle Guy, and we'll see you for more Dota freaking action. Till then.